Recording now.
Broadcasting to you on WNN 1470 AM and TrentoVision.tv from the world's leading think tank laboratory, buried deep in an undisclosed building in hostile territory where evil and corruption is exposed. You're about to enter the Tom Trento Show.
Trento heads United West, a group that says it defends Western civilization against the onslaught of Islam.
3, 4, 2. 342.
Oh no.
342, folks.
342 days.
342 days until the revolution will occur on November 4, 2014. You get it? Hi, everybody driving in your cars. What revolution? What November 4th? November 4, 2014 is a significant day in the history of the United States of America. If you want to turn back the Obama gang, folks, the cadre of ideologues who are anti-American, pro-third world. I know it's bizarre stuff, but if you follow this show, we've documented this. Anti-Zionist, not anti-Jewish necessarily, because if there's a Jewish person who'll write a check to the Obama campaign, they love him. If there's an individual in Israel who wants Israel to remain as the geographic land given by God, won in war, to the Israelis, no. And the best way to understand the Iranian agreement, which is a Faustian deal with the devil, is to recognize that the Obama gang, he and his folks, make this distinction and have sold it. They've sold it to America, that Obama loves Jewish people. Yeah, he loves Jewish people at cocktail parties and fundraisers where he is right now on Tuesday, the 26th of November, 2013. If they write big checks, he loves them. If they want to stand in the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, or the Israeli Air Force, or if they want to be settlers, how do you settle your own land?
What a bunch of nonsense.
You know, if they want to do that, no. Then they are disrupting the affairs of the world and the stability of the world, and particularly the stability of the Middle East. The key to understanding this Iranian deal, which will fail and has made put everyone in a more dangerous situation, is that President Obama can put his arm around one Jewish person here while pushing Israel and Zionism into the gutters of history. That's his desire. Hi, Tom Trento here. Our show deals with national security issues, and there is not a more important issue today than this really bad deal with Iran. And our goal today is to present to you some of the doctrinal reasons why Iran cannot follow the deal they've made. What do they have to do if they can't follow the deal they made?
Lie. Yeah.
The same as they always do.
Lie.
What have they not lied about?
Yeah, they're masters. I heard a talk show host yesterday talking about Arabs for the most part lie when they negotiate, and they were applying it to Iran. And I'm going, well, okay, but we got a problem with that. What's the problem?
That they're Persians?
They're Persians. They're not Arabs.
Right.
But they do have something in common with the Arabs.
What is that?
They're Muslims.
The holy and noble Quran. And we're going to get into a little Quran reading today, too. So we got a lot of stuff for you. But who are we? Somebody, CJ, tell these folks
who we are. We are TrentoVision.tv. That's him, Tom Trento over there.
Hi,
and
Tom.
we are broadcasting to you live from WNN Studios in Boca Raton, Florida.
You look like you shrunk.
I know.
Am I
you get
gaining
the-
weight
did
or
you
are
get-
you losing
I
weight?
think you grew
You
in
guys
stature
are on
overnight.
drugs. You guys are on drugs.
You can listen to
It's
us
the-
on the radio.
I'm super pressing about
1470 AM from Miami to Orlando. You can download for free the iHeart app onto your smartphone
right.
or other smart device and enter WWNN in your search and listen to us anywhere.
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the whole wide world.
Except Iran. I don't think they...
I don't. Yeah,
You
I
are
don't know if
very
your
popular
smartphone
man in
is gonna-
Iran.
I don't know if your smartphone is going to get good reception in Iran or not, but maybe that's part of the deal: is better cell phone reception for Iranians.
Well, let me tell you about the Iranians for a second, the Persians.
Do you want
Okay.
me?
Oh, you want me to finish?
Okay, yeah, do
Yeah.
this.
Do you want me to
You,
finish?
you tricked me on the graphics here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do the graphics.
Yeah, you can also watch us on TrentoVision.tv and the TeaPartyCommunity.com and the UnitedWest.org. And if you're listening on the radio or you only got to see part of the show because you actually had to work while you were watching it, then you could go to the archives at youtube.com/theunitedwest. And you can click on any show that you might have missed that you want to see again or for the first time and watch it on YouTube.
And if
And
there's
we
a
also-
gigantic...
Uh-oh.
If there's a gigantic... What is that?
Oh,
Oh,
we
you're
have
gonna-
Watchdog Wire.
Other news
Oh, Watchdog
other news that
Right,
we use.
Bare
Yeah,
Naked.
Bare Naked Islam, watchdogwire.com, BizPack Review. Some of these are great. If you live in Florida, you need to check out watchdogwire.com and BizPack Review for sure. And I know that you're going to absolutely love what we do here and you want to contribute somehow. And you can if you go to theunitedwest.org.
Let me explain this to them, and you can put the air thing on.
The-
It's getting warm in here.
The United West.
Hot studio.
It was cold before. Theunitedwest.org, and you can donate securely to the United West, and it is tax deductible.
Or 501c3.
It's absolutely, it's a really great Christmas gift because we do love Christians here
That's
at the
right.
United
Good job,
West.
CJ.
And if you do it before the end of the year, you get a tax break for
There you go.
2013. And who doesn't
I'm
need one of
persuaded.
those?
50%
checkbook?
tax break.
Here, let
50%.
me get
Yeah,
my-
because if you can reduce your
Ta-da!
income, by giving some away, then you could lower your stated income for Obamacare.
That's right. You
and
can
then you can
qualify
then you
for-
can qualify for some of the subsidies.
There you
can
go.
qualify for an Obama
From our
subsidy.
economist, our
It is a
We're just
win,
trying to help you out here. Send us money to lessen your Obamacare bills.
There you go.
Let
win,
me get my
win,
new-
win, win when you support the
There you
United
go.
West and TrentoVision.
Let me get my new wallet out from our friends
Of the UK.
In the UK. Here's my credit card. Put me down for a couple of thou as a gift.
I'll just do it right here.
Okay.
You know, I went
My
into the
iPad.
Apple store yesterday for the first time, and that was the first time that the guy goes, "Oh, okay." He just takes my credit card, runs it through his phone, and goes, "Have a good day."
Yeah.
It was awesome.
We can do that with
We
ours.
got one of them.
Other
them
than the
there things.
$85 for a computer charger, that wasn't so awesome.
I told
That's
you.
who we are. Our organization is the United West. Not Alan West, though he's a good friend of ours. Not Diana West, though she's a good friend of ours. Not United West. That's an airlines. We are the
Not United Way.
Not the United Way, which people have confused us with in print. The United West. And the whole concept of that, it grew out of the Florida Security Council. Many of you are familiar with that organization from 2006 and 7. We started
And
it.
8 and 9.
Yeah, and all up until 11, March of 2011.
Right.
We expanded beyond the boundaries of this great state of Florida.
Busted out.
And we said
Busted out.
we needed a name. You know when you have a kid, my friends have had a lot of kids, they name it, and then it looks okay as a baby, but then as it gets older, you go, that name doesn't work. You want to change your name? That's what we do.
Pinky doesn't work anymore. How can we spiff that up?
We changed it to the United West because the threat movement of the West, of Western civilization, is, as it has been for 1,400 years, Islamic jihad, and the doctrine is centered in the system of Islam, and part and parcel of Islam is the coordination and and developing cohesion of the Ummah. Islam looks, it's boundaryless. There are no geographical lines. That's why when Israel says, oh, this is our land. No, it ain't. Muslims were there. Once they're there, they own it. We are the Ummah. Every Muslim is part of the Ummah, the family. And the goal of Islam is to unite the Ummah, all 1.3 billion Muslims in 56 plus 1 nations, against the infidel, the kafir, and in this case against Jews and Christians. So we named our organization the United West. We will unite the West, 23, 24 European countries. Australia's in there. Do we stick Mexico in there? Are they on our side?
Sort of.
Once we give them Texas back, yes.
Yeah, North America.
I don't know. I
Rasa.
voted against naming the United West the United West.
What did you want to name it?
I wanted to name it something else because I think the United West leaves out a very important group of people, a couple of important groups of people in this battle against totalitarianism and Islam, and that is you're leaving out India and China. And
Well,
you're
they're
leaving,
Westerners.
You're leaving
Westernized.
Out, no.
We colonized those little crazy countries.
No.
We
I'm
own
sorry.
them.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, Tom. Actually, China owns us.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah, because of these. And
right.
so I thought that kind of
They
excluded.
can get on board.
We
are
have.
not-
I
we are
don't.
not.
I don't want our friends who are Hindus to feel excluded when they watch the show that
Oh,
they're
you
not part of the United West.
And we have a great group of Hindu friends in the
especially,
state of Florida.
especially
Yeah.
in Florida, they're very active.
And the Sikhs, actually,
Look.
have been active.
Honorary Westerners, okay? How about it? We make them honorary United Westerners. So they're on board. That's what we do. What do we defend, folks? Are you driving in your automobiles? Maybe for the first time you've stumbled along 1470 AM on your dial. But you can watch this because we really produce a television show. We have 35 people, 2 people back there putting the show
Right.
together. And
People have 35 friends.
yes,
We have 35 friends on
Wait a
Facebook.
second.
one
Wait
of them
a
has
second.
35 friends.
Hold on. We're up to 35 friends on Facebook.
That's no. 35 friends in the producer alone.
Oh.
He has 35 people living in his head. Did you forget?
Oh, that's true.
So there's 36 of them back there.
Which is a lucky number, double high.
There you go.
Oh, I like that.
2 of them actually are manifested physically. 35 of the 4 of them or so are it just appear. Like for instance,
They knock
I
on
don't
the
know.
door.
Speaking of India, do we have any Indian friends with us?
India, yes, my friend. Can I get you a Slurpee? Would you like the cherry or the lime flavor?
That
God.
is totally not
Oh,
known.
God. That is totally
so
wrong.
racist.
That
How about
is so
Italian? We have any
wrong.
Italian friends?
Hey, Tommy, what do you mean you got Italian friends? All you got's Italian friends. Them and some of your Jews.
We have many friends residing in our...
In our producer's head.
That's why we need a really big bunker.
Yeah, indeed. But we love everybody out there.
But our favorite friend of all is
Favorite friend,
Our
yeah.
favorite friend is Imam Abdullah.
Oh, thank you for having me today, infidels. My favorite group of infidels that I ever associate with.
You're growing on us, let me tell you.
You're growing on
You're
us.
growing
Yeah,
on us.
yeah.
Like
That's
a
funny
moss
because
There's
growing.
a fungus among us.
I
and
was
it's
going
in
to
the
say, I have some
studio.
things growing on my areas.
Yes, you're growing on us.
That's
But,
TMI.
Sleep with
TMI.
goat, wake up with growth.
Somehow we managed to stay
TMI.
on the air.
TMI.
So far, somehow we managed to stay on the air. We managed to actually impact lives. If you could see the emails I get literally from all over the world.
Actually, we did impact a lot of lives, especially voting lives in our last election.
Yeah, and we're going to be rolling that out in the next month or 2. We're doing some testing on a 2-month study that will establish the fact that the Republican Party has wasted tons of money in running campaigns that are antiquated, and that there's a better way to use money more efficiently. So we're gonna lay that out in the future. But our work is to, and we state this all the time, our mission statement, to defend the United States Constitution. You got to have a binding pact. You know, when people get married, they have a marriage agreement, they have vows, they take vows. And those vows, if they are affirmed and maintained, people can stay married for a long time. Similarly, if you take a vow of commitment to the principles of a country, doesn't mean if the country starts veering off, you don't criticize it or critique it. Of course you do. But you've got to have some sort of compact, a cohesive social contract where everybody says, yeah, these are the 10 principles we're going to live by. And those principles are our Constitution. The 237 years now, the oldest functioning democracy ever in the history of the world, the greatest country, exceptional, except from our president's point of view. Did he say at one point we were not exceptional, the United States of America?
No, he said that I'm sure every other country believes that they're exceptional as well. I'm sure the British believe in British exceptional.
How did this guy get
I'm sure
elected?
the Indians believe in Indian
How
exceptional.
can a president of the United States downgrade the fact that we believe we have done exceptional stuff in this world? Not believe it.
Free stuff.
Well, it's all the bad stuff that this country has done that knocks us off that exceptional pedestal, I guess. It's all the colonizing and, destroying the planet, making the ocean levels rise.
And what country did we colonize that is worse off than if we didn't colonize? What country?
What country did we colonize?
Yeah, what countries have we colonized? The United States.
If I am not mistaken, were we not a colony?
I think we may have been.
We
Actually, we were
decolonialized
13
it.
colonies.
Wow. President
In
Obama,
any event.
he thinks we're neo-colonials. That's even worse.
Yeah. The neo-colonial view. We are defending the Constitution. We are these days, and our focus today on the second part of our show is going to be on Iran and the fact that Iran is the most dangerous country on the face of the earth in many respects, particularly from the jihad perspective. They've been behind most of the terrorist attacks emanating out of their revolution in 1979. They've killed so many Americans in Iraq through Hezbollah all over the world that you have to treat enemies in a particular way when you're negotiating with them. That is, you squash them, and then they ask for some sort of relief, and you say, okay, on these conditions. Simple. Not the other way around.
I thought you were
the other
supposed to
way around.
coddle them.
I heard Wolf Blitzer yesterday on Monday the 25th. Today's the 22nd, Tuesday. He was interviewing Joe Lieberman, former Senator Lieberman.
Right.
And he said, Joe Lieberman's so much against this deal that Blitzer says, well, don't you have to start someplace? We were enemies with China. We were enemies with Japan. We were enemies with Germany. And then I said, you, Damon, you were there. I said, well, I think we crushed those countries.
Yeah, I was going to
Right.
say, didn't we defeat them in battle first and then negotiate with them?
Yes, and China,
Well, after World War I, when we did not crush them and impose the terms, what
Exactly,
happened?
exactly.
Oh, World War II.
Yep. And
Well, actually, no, we did win World War I.
No, but we did not strictly impose.
and say,
Well,
look,
I don't know. I think
you know-
anybody subject to the Versailles Treaty might have a difference of opinion on
but
that.
the point is, Wolf Blitzer was so far off base that he was comparing the devastation of World War II visited upon Germany by us and Japan with giving the Iranians a chance. Again, the second part of the show, we're going to get into that. We're standing with Israel. We are fighting and defeating anything President Obama does. And Islamic Jihad is a focus of our work. So if you're interested in that sort of stuff, we're looking for trust fund babies. We can make your life very interesting. We've got to
Yes.
build, right here, look, my hand is on the other side of CJ, and right outside there is the end of our building, okay? We're in a closet producing the show. We need to build a little bigger studio. We have a whole host of exposés we're doing. We do amazing work. Our budget is less than half of what many folks in this industry, national security, make as a salary. So help us out. And it's Thanksgiving time. What would be better?
That's right.
And we're starving.
Express your love and gratitude for the world by writing us a nice check.
To be thankful for the people who are trying to help you save your way of life.
Yes, and it is tax deductible.
And this money is not getting wasted, trust me. It is actually going to very, very effective. Like I said, like Tom was talking about it earlier, we're actually making a great impact, and it can be mathematically shown how we're making that great impact. It's not just words or anything like that.
And this gigantic diamond that we've invested in It's
I
for
was gonna
future.
say,
in case
yeah.
For future, right?
We are certainly not spending it on the niceties and amenities around here. I can
Isn't
swear
that
to
the Royal
that.
Jewels? Is that the Royal Jewels next to the Union Jack, Trento?
Yes, there's two Royal Jewels here. We got all kinds of things. We have the Union Jack from our good friends in London who were visiting us last week.
Right.
We have our little memento from the saluting the military, January 2012. We have this thing from our first trip to Jerusalem to Israel.
Did we glue the top back on?
Yes.
Yes.
Why we fight, the Dome of the Rock.
We
That's
fixed the
something that's not
dome.
good.
Okay, good.
And then we have from our second trip in Israel, the Western Wall. We have that here.
Yeah.
And then we have this, of course.
The pink.
You know what's
carpet.
pretty
I
funny?
paid for.
Is a Jew can't pray. A Jew can't pray,
You could
Right
pray
there.
here. Okay.
but the Iranians can threaten to wipe Israel off the map about twice a week.
Let's do a close up.
This thing is right here.
Tom, we'll do a close up.
This is the Western Wall. And this is right outside of here like this.
Yeah.
Jews can pray at the wall, but you can't go up the stairs and pray where their temple was for 2,000, 3,000 years. Literally, Jewish people cannot go on the Temple Mount and move their lips. If they're moving their lips, it's perceived legally as praying, which is illegal to do on here because it insults Muslims.
How far is that wall?
But Iran can threaten the existence of Israel 2 times a week at least for as long as we can remember, but that's not a problem.
That's not a
but
problem.
a Jew moving his lips, that's a problem.
And to add insult to injury, a Muslim of any stripe can go to the Western Wall. You can walk there as a tourist. You can do whatever you want. You can go right up to the holiest place in Judaism. But a Jew, if he wants to say, "Oh, I'm gonna go south and to the west a little bit, and go south and to the east a little bit and visit Mecca. I'd like to go see what's going on there as a tourist." What happens?
He gets
Well,
arrested.
I mean, you're
Or
not even,
goes to jail.
well,
Seriously.
the signs on the highway tell you that if you're not a Muslim, you need to pull
Muslims
off here.
only. Muslims only.
Now, could Muslims
can't
visit
do it.
Jerusalem?
Imagine,
course.
imagine if there was a sign. Seriously, imagine if there was a sign in Jerusalem that said Jews only. Jews only, no Christians, no Muslims allowed in Jerusalem.
Or in the
Imagine that.
Vatican?
Oh, just
Vatican.
wait. It
Well,
is
wait a
coming, my
second.
friend.
Wait a
That sign
second.
will be coming.
You don't even have to go all the way to Mecca for the example, because one thing that's always a part of any potential peace agreement between Israel and the Palestinian Authority is that all areas of the Palestinian Authority will be Jew-free and all those people will be expelled. But the flip side of that is Israel has to let in any Palestinian who wants to go into Israel. So Palestine, Jew-free. Israel, as many hundreds of millions of Muslims as want to come, can go to Israel.
Well, then how does CAIR, the Council on American Islamic Relations, or Students for Justice in Palestine, all these bogus campus groups, how do they have Israel Apartheid Week? How do they call Israel an apartheid nation when, in fact, Israel allows people of any nationality to come into their country?
Actually, we've talked to people who've said that from South Africa. Remember what the guy said up there? What did he say, Tom?
It was an insult. It was an
Yeah.
absolute insult when
It's an
people
insult to
referred to
apartheid.
Israel as apartheid. It downgraded what apartheid really was in South Africa.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. All right, folks, it's 24 minutes after 3 o'clock on the 26th, Tuesday. We want to introduce an ongoing problem, and then we'll get into our Iran study or explanation. The ongoing problem occurred 9/11, September 11, 2013 in Venice, Florida. Venice, Florida is a cute little resort town on the west coast of Florida. In 2011, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, of the terrorists trained in flying an airplane,
2001.
taking the airplane off and flying it.
Right.
And they crashed it into the World Trade Center.
Right.
And
Did you say those were Muslims that did that?
I don't think I said that, but I think they were. I think they were
Right.
Muslims. I think so. of the religion of peace faith. And a couple of years ago, our good friend Gene Sweeney, retired veteran, he got together with some friends and they put this beautiful monument up at Patriots Park in Venice, honoring those who have given their life since 9/11 from Florida in the so-called War on Terror. This past 9/11, September 11th, I was invited to be a speaker. 2-hour presentation. I spoke for 16 minutes, and I stated that, among other things, that Islam is the enemy. Islam is the enemy. I said not radical Islam, not moderate Islam, and not Sharia Islam, all of that. I said it's Islam. And I laid out the academic and doctrinal reasons why Muslim scholarship tells us what Islam is. I recognized it and said what they tell us is indeed an enemy to the United States of America.
Yeah.
And we made a distinction between the doctrine of Islam as articulated by the leading scholars of Islam and an
That's right.
individual
Who's a Muslim?
who's a Muslim.
And who are we to tell people who are Muslims or anybody else what Islam is?
Yeah,
It's like, do you tell people what Catholicism is, or does the Pope?
yeah. I mean, think of the absurdity of us telling the 20 great Islamic scholars through the ages, hey, we can't buy what you're saying, so obviously you're wrong, because if you're right, we're screwed, so that can't be right. So somebody like me or those of us at the United West, we have to, particularly when we were standing under flags at half-mast and this beautiful monument to dead people that we know, that we know their families well. That monument right there that's on your screen. So I said in a very sophisticated presentation, Islam is the enemy. People went nuts. Well, some people. The crowd cheered like crazy. A little goofy cub reporter, Shelby Webb, just didn't know what she was writing, but she wrote a bunch of stuff, created a controversy.
Oh, she
And
knew
she
what
still-
she was writing, and she was looking to make a name for
Yeah, that's
herself.
probably true. I'm trying to be nice.
Well, no, I'm not going to give her that benefit of the doubt. She's ignorant on the issue. She's completely,
You've been talking to her.
Oh yeah. She's completely ignorant on the issue, and I don't mean that she's not a smart person. I mean that she is completely ignorant on the issue. She has no idea about anything with Islamic doctrine. She has absolutely no idea about anything with Sayyid Qutb. I asked her, who is Sayyid Qutb? She goes, I don't know. I said, can you explain to me, Sharia law out of our book right there? And she could not even quote one little thing. She's completely ignorant of everything on Islam.
And the people
Zero.
that Mark is talking about are the Thomas Jeffersons and Abraham Lincolns and George Washingtons of Islam.
Right.
You have to know what these, if you want to know something about America, you got to know these great thinkers. If you want to know something about Islam, you got to refer to these great thinkers. That's
If
what
you're going to
Mark
be talking
is saying.
about the Constitution, you should know about Thomas Jefferson and all those other people who actually wrote it. Madison, all the people, right? If you actually want to have an intellectual conversation about this, I'm sorry, Tom. I get very upset.
You know what killed me was I overheard part of Mark's conversation with
This is
her.
the other day. Now, hang on. Let me get the time frame for everybody. September 11, 2013, we spoke controversy. The Republican Club of Nokomis invited me back to speak on the 19th of November. We went back the other day, and they wanted an expanded version of what I was saying. We delivered a 90-minute national security brief that established the depository, the place that collects the doctrine as Islam, and laid out the facts and supported the facts with data from Islamic doctrine.
Right.
And go ahead. Now, say what you're saying.
What I was going to say is I overheard part of Mark's conversation with Shelby.
Yes.
And she's trying to somewhat argue, but what she was doing is calling facts opinion. Okay, basically stating that everything you said was an opinion. When all you're doing is giving a factual talk and a PowerPoint based on their own words.
For instance, we laid out the memorandum produced by the Muslim Brotherhood in 1991, which said that their desires to overthrow the United States of America. and to, like a grand jihad, civilizational jihad, and destroy the West from within by the hands of the infidel.
That would be us.
That's yeah. That is, I read from Muslim Brotherhood literature, and she would say, "Oh, that's an opinion. That's an opinion."
Well, we have shared an image of her up here. All right, this is who we're dealing with.
Yeah, right.
This is the the caliber of person we're dealing with. A 24-year-old, fresh out of college, knows nothing's been indoctrinated by the MSA and everyone else, and you know this is the authority that you're listening to.
And here's what happened. She wrote in a dinky little paper, in a goofy area, you know, with this newspaper. She wrote an article that was totally factually wrong, misstatements about me, all of that. But that in this new age of 24-hour news cycle and blogging and all of that, her article takes on new life in CAIR, all their publications. It starts going all over the world and is repeated as fact. We understand that. Let me jump ahead to what happened on the 19th. Did the presentation, and a councilman, Emilio Carlissimo, is that his name?
Yes.
Yes.
Emilio Carlissimo. He had supported what I said on September 11th.
Right.
And as a result, Hassan Shibli, do we have Hassan's picture floating around?
We'll just, it doesn't matter.
He's the head of CAIR. If you got to find him, no big deal. He's the head of CAIR in Florida. CAIR is the Council on American Islamic Relations. He, in fact, just received from Nihad Awad, the head of CAIR nationally, Chapter of the Year. Florida is the best CAIR.
Oh, he is there.
CAIR is a terrorist organization, folks. CAIR is Hamas, as determined by the federal government in a lawsuit 3 years ago. So CAIR does their two-step dance with some of the city council members in Venice, complaining about Tom Trento, the United West. They go there, they do a little bit of sensitivity training, and Councilman Emilio Carlissimo flip-flops and says, "Oh, okay, I'm with you now. I didn't understand that Muslims were victims." And the picture we have up on the screen right now, 33 minutes after 3 o'clock, is Gene Sweeney on the center, on the right-hand side. Next to him on the right, Hassan Shibli. And then next to him, Emilio Carlissimo. Here's how this picture came about. When CAIR was doing their sensitivity training with these folks, they're talking about the monument, and Hassan Shibli, in his disarmingly manner, very soft-spoken, gentle guy. "Oh, I'd love to see that monument.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
possible?"
can I go and hug you while I'm taking my picture in front of
Yeah,
it?
can you
So
kiss
I
me
can
while I'm
pictures yet?
So I can circulate it and say that we're against terrorism too?
Yeah, no pictures yet. Just, is it possible? Is it possible we all can go?
Kumbaya.
I need Hassan Shibli wears one of those hats. If we had,
What kind of hat?
yeah, the Muslim.
There he is, right there.
Let me see that thing. There he is. Give me that thing. Okay,
All right, you be Hassan.
I'll be Hassan. Okay, I look like a baker.
Hold on. Let me
You
bring.
need a beard.
I need a beard.
You need a beard.
What's this? Oh, a beard. Oh, a beard. Okay. Now, Hassan says, "Is it possible that we can go look at that wonderful monument?" And being nice, Gene Sweeney and the others said, "Sure, of course." So they go over to the monument, and while they're there, Hassan says, "Is it possible we can take a picture together?" What are you going to say? No?
No.
Right?
I'm not taking a picture.
I would have
with
said
you.
no.
Show him the picture.
Okay. Will do.
Now, this picture, ironically, winds up on the front story criticizing us, me in particular, from the other day. And the picture wasn't given out by Gene Sweeney and others. Hassan Shibli
Passed it.
somehow passed it to the press. And what does that picture tell you when you
Well,
look
wait
at the
a
picture?
second. It says, actually in the caption under the picture, it says provided by Emilio Carlissimo. So it was
picture?
the councilman himself gave that
Does it
picture
say that?
to the Herald Tribune.
Oh, it was probably his camera.
Right, and he got the picture.
Oh, this implicates him even more, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Right.
Oh, interesting.
You know, and he was really nice while he was there. He didn't seem to have any problems with anything you were saying.
He was standing up and applauding.
Of course he was, because there were voters in the room.
Well, he was standing up and applauding.
Are you
and
sure? Because they say that he never moved in this article.
I watched out of the. I didn't have any cameras on him, but
But we will now.
we will now.
All right, now let me. Now I'm gonna. Now, okay.
Well,
so-
especially I don't know if we can mention on air what happened afterwards.
No. We
Okay.
can't mention that.
Okay.
But the point for our show today at 36 minutes after
You
3
look
o'clock.
like a sailor more than anything else with that hat on.
No,
Yeah.
This is Popeye over here.
Popeye the Sailor Man.
Okay. I was feeling a little Islamic there.
You
for a
were.
while.
Yeah. There you go.
See how
could not be
easy it
so
is-
lucky.
See
I was
how
losing-
easy it is to revert?
Yes,
I was losing my my taste for
I think
bacon.
there's kind of a resemblance there, don't you? Look at that one, and with Tom. Yeah,
Oh, see who's behind Hassan?
Oh, yes.
Nizar.
Nizar
That's
Ham.
very,
Sorry,
very good
yeah,
friend.
yeah, yeah.
Our local man on the scene.
All right, folks, what we're doing right now is we're using an event that we were central in September 11th, 2013, and November 19th, 2013, to illustrate exactly what the Muslim Brotherhood's plan for influencing political people in the United States of America works out, how it works out. Now, Shibli goes in, has his meeting. They all go, yeah, we have a new view of Islam. Now, he didn't lay out the fact that we do, that CAIR is a terrorist organization. But they,
I just want to make perfectly clear when we say that CAIR is a terrorist organization, we're not making a generalized statement like that guy's a terrorist. He looks like no. We are saying CAIR is a terrorist organization, terrorist supporting, terrorist funding in
That's
every
the national
sense.
organization, though. This is the
Oh,
Florida
yeah.
organization.
In every meaning and sense of the word, they are a terrorist organization. Now, why are we not afraid of saying that on air?
because
Because
the court documents prove us
prove
right.
it. Prove us right. We can categorically prove and say that they are a terrorist organization. This is not some airy-fairy thing we're saying. We mean it, 100%.
And
Sue us, please, CAIR. Sue us.
to the extent, oh yeah, they would have done that a long time ago.
Yes,
but,
we beg them to sue us. Please sue us.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I want them
lawsuits
to.
they sue a lot of people. They do sue a lot
Yes.
of people.
Lawfare.
Yeah, it's lawfare. They try to drain you for money.
break out
But we
your-
have boatloads of money, don't we?
No.
Yeah,
Nope.
sink
No,
the
but we
boat.
have the best lawyers in the country.
Hey.
Good lawyers. Yeah.
Say hello to my little good friend David.
No, but the reason why CAIR is hesitant to come after us legally is because we understand how this works, and we would expose even more about them, and they don't want that done. They operate in the
They
shadows.
don't want us discovering anything in Discovery, that's for sure.
Yes.
So, and notwithstanding everything we're saying, the Federal Bureau of Investigation has been prohibited by the Department of Justice with interacting with CAIR anywhere in the United States unless they're investigating them. They cannot associate or work in conjunction or in any partnership with CAIR because CAIR has been implicated in a terrorism funding case, and CAIR is Hamas, which is a designated terrorist organization.
Now, wouldn't you think
back
that
to
would
this.
hold? I'm sorry. That's another.
Now back to this right here. We're going to do a lot of stuff on CAIR, but just look at the first sentence of this published November 21st, same Shelby Webb, same great publication, the Herald Tribune. If you ever want to make a little bogus paper, take two great names and stick them together. First sentence. After a speaker denounced Muslims, who's that speaker?
You.
You, Tom Trento.
After a speaker denounced Muslims at a 9/11 memorial service in Venice this year, comma. Okay.
Okay, first
Well,
of all,
first
you
of all-
didn't denounce Muslims.
Factually.
Factually.
What did I say about
at all.
Muslims?
You said Muslims are good, ordinary people as long as they believe in whatever they
Constitution.
And that as Christians and
Constitution,
Jews, we
yeah.
need to love these people as individuals, as humans. You don't see that in there.
No.
So, I mean, for that, we should blast her out of the water. You
Right.
know? After a speaker denounced Muslims, I denounced Islam
Yeah.
as a totalitarian
And
supremacist.
she knows that
She
because
knows
we
knows
already have
that.
had hours of conversations with
She knows
her
that.
about it and with her editor,
And they continue to do
and they
it.
continue to do it anyway. So obviously, what this says is they have an agenda
Yep.
Right.
posing as a news organization, and
Right.
that agenda is to shut you up, discredit you, and puff up Islam.
Right.
And carry the water for CAIR.
Yeah.
At a 9/11 service this year, City Council member Emilio Carlissimo said he agreed with the sentiments that Muslims were unapologetic, and he called my speech rousing. But today, Carlissimo has a different view. For the past 2 months, Carlissimo has met with a representative of the Council on American, several representatives, Council on American Islamic Relations, and a Port Charlotte imam to discuss faith and Muslims in America. And the article goes on to say how they explained to him how wonderful Islam is, and he flip-flopped. Okay, I support you guys now. While others in the crowd leapt to their feet, this was the 19th, a week ago, to applaud Trento after his talk, Carlissimo sat in his folding chair. Quote, this is a quote from the 19th of Carlissimo. When I heard him, Trento, on 9/11, he seemed on the fringe.
Well, if you're a truth teller in this country, publicly speaking, then you are on the fringe.
He seemed on the fringe, but I gave him a little credibility, Carlissimo said. Now I listen, but I don't take him as seriously.
Right.
Right, because I've been the subject
This is
of an
according to
influence
Shoddy.
operation of a terrorist organization and a shady imam from Port Charlotte.
Yep, and that's the developing story that we have right now. We're looking into this a bit further. We're going to try to have a conversation with Emilio Carlissimo to find out. I know our friends there that sponsor this are
Right.
furious with this guy.
Right.
They're going, man, you've been rolled over by gangsters, by Islamic gangsters who pose as pretty boys, you know?
Yeah.
What are you doing? So we're going to get to the bottom of this. And
Tom, I have 1 minute 56 seconds of your speech from Venice. In fact, I titled it "Loving the Muslim, Hating the Ideology."
But anyway, we need to talk a little bit more. 'Cause I just got it.
I was just gonna, but it just goes against everything in this thing about denouncing Muslims. Okay, you spoke, and again, the original article said that you took over the event when, in fact, they had given you over 40 minutes to speak. You only spoke for 17 minutes. Okay, so you didn't take over anything. In fact, you gave time back. You gave 2/3 of your time back. They misrepresented how long you spoke, and they said that you spoke about Muslims. And here we have about 1 minute and 56
Okay,
seconds
yeah, we'll hear it.
of where you are clearly making a very clear distinction between a Muslim as an individual and Islam as an ideology.
perfect, because I have a rule. I have to listen to myself 2 minutes every day, so this will fill that rule. That'll be good.
Now you don't have to listen to
critical
the show.
as humans. I happen to be a Christian. It is critical as a Christian to make a distinction between the system of Islam and a human being who is a Muslim. I am commanded and I desire to love all people. I do not hate, though I'm listed by the United States military as a hate organization. I'm listed by our group here, and some of our guys are right here.
Thanks
the
for that.
Southern Poverty Law Center as a hate organization. But we only hate individuals that hate that flag and want to destroy the Constitution. It's the only people we hate. They could be any religion. They fall into that. They're my enemy. Everyone here, ideological enemy. And if it escalates to the kinetic component, as it does, then we're doing everything we can to keep that from happening here. There is a love and concern, and if you watch our show and the United West Counterterrorism Organization, we're always talking about assisting and helping Muslims who want to leave the death cult in many respects of Islamic jihad and come over to the United States, assimilate, be part of this country like my parents and grandparents did. And we're here. We've done that. We've worked with Muslims who have left Islam and converted or not converted out. And I have a public standing offer. Any Muslim anywhere that needs help, it's very difficult to get out of that system. We're here to help them. So we don't hate Muslims. We hate an ideology.
Sounds like you hate Muslims.
And her first sentence was, after a speaker denounced Muslims at a 9/11 memorial service.
Right, that's why I had to bring that up.
Yeah.
That's so absurd. All right, anyway, it's a developing story, folks, and it's very, very important because the CAIR chapter in Florida is now the #1 chapter in the United States of America.
Yay, good job, Hassan. Yay, good
Congratulations.
job. #1 terrorist
Mazel
organization.
tov.
Mazel
And,
tov to be
Chaim.
And as this Iranian deal starts to work its way through the coming days, weeks, and months, there's going to be increased animosity, anger, and hatred toward Israel by Islamic jihadis. And CAIR is going to be defending Iran, even though many of the CAIR people are Sunnis and Iran is Shia. It doesn't matter when you're fighting Jews and Christians. So Nokomis, Florida, which is next to Venice, Florida, is a microcosmic graphic illustration of this larger battle that's taking place in the United States. We'll keep you in tune with that as we look at some of the global issues like this
And
Iranian
this
deal.
goes to a bigger point of what we actually do, Tom. We actually go to we solve the problem on the micro, which solves the problem on the macro. We go out there on the individual ground and go after these people who are lying, deceiving, and trying to trick city councilmen.
Yep.
And that same type of technique goes all the way up into Congress, into the President of the United States, and
right. Good
and
point.
beyond, and literally beyond.
Yeah.
That's their modus operandi.
Start
What you're
small.
seeing in Venice is exactly what happens at the federal level in Washington, D.C., and in the police departments throughout the nation.
Well, you're just a hater, CJ. That's all you are.
All of you are a bunch of Islamophobes. I feel like I need a bath
Well,
when I leave
I
here.
felt that I needed a title because you're the host of the show, and it's your show, and it's your name, and J. Mark is the director, and Damon is the producer.
You're the co-host.
I don't have a title.
You're a co-hater.
Co-hater.
You're a co-hater.
Co-hater. What do you want? You want a title? What do
You want a title? She wants a title, Tom.
How
You're
about
a
noble? I see noble here.
Noble.
Noble hater.
noble hater.
All right.
Quran
Well,
hater.
Do you like Lieberman, Senator Lieberman?
I do, yeah. I mean, not on all the issues, but I certainly do.
I don't know if you
On a
saw him
lot
on Wolf Blitzer yesterday.
No, I try not to watch that.
We have 3 TVs here at the
I
studio.
know, I have to cover my eyes, cover my ears when I go from room to room.
I know.
We actually have satellite TV. We have 3 monitors. One monitor is on Fox, one on CNN, and the third is on
Al
Jazeera.
Jazeera.
A-Jam. So then we have to go drink a lot of wine when we finish with those 3 shows at the end of the day. Just kidding. But
He is kidding.
the main point of Lieberman yesterday was that this is a very bad deal. The United States has agreed on an interim deal, looking to get a comprehensive deal down the road. And the 6 months really is a year. So Lieberman's saying, why are we screwing around with our enemy? Let me ask you first, CJ. Is Iran our enemy?
Absolutely.
And why?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it goes back to 1979. We're still in a state of war with Iran.
Hasn't changed.
And that hasn't,
Agree.
that hasn't changed.
Very well said, CJ.
But you have to talk to your enemies sometime, somewhere.
Well, at
you
least
don't.
this guy's a moderate, right?
You don't have to talk. Well,
Why do
Why?
you?
What?
Why do you have to talk to
Because
them?
they're trying to get nuclear power capability to run
Okay.
generators to
No,
feed their
all right.
starving people.
So what you do is you stop them from doing it. You don't try to talk them out of
nuclear
it.
power they're trying
They
to
don't. No.
No,
That's
they
not
want
what
nuclear
they're
weapons.
doing.
Electricity and medical
Well,
experimentation.
why are you saying...
Why does the richest oil country in the world,
Not the, but one of.
okay, why do they need nuclear power to fuel
Well,
their
it doesn't matter.
electricity? That makes
Who are we to
absolutely
tell them
no
what they
sense.
need? They don't need- they have a
Are we
right to do
playing
what
that
they tell them.
game again? Are we going to be progressives now?
No,
No.
we're
Because we did that yesterday, and that was Okay.
I had to take a shower.
YouTube.com.
My head still hurts from that 10 minutes of liberalism.
YouTube.com/The United West. Go to the show marked 11/25/13 and get a real treat because the whole team plays progressive.
That's
We
right.
take on different roles, and boy, you wouldn't believe the phone calls and emails that come in from that.
From
Well,
that
what the
whole
heck
thing.
happened to your show?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We went
well,
to the dark
if you,
side.
that's why you can't just listen for 5 minutes. at
George
a
Soros.
time.
That was the first time we had people call in trying to advertise.
Soros
think we
contacted
have-
me.
Ooh,
you
I
guys
think
need some
we-
money?
I think
got some
we
money.
have a winner.
Yeah.
No, we are in a state of war with Iran, period.
Okay.
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 Not this guy.
Well,
But here's
not that guy, right?
yeah, we have President Rouhani to the right, screen right as you're watching it on your monitors. Don't watch it while you're driving your car in South Florida, 51 minutes past 3 o'clock, and President Obama on the left. New best buds, BFF. They're BFF. They're probably texting each other right
Yeah.
now. But somebody just said that they are our enemy, and that if they were to get nuclear weapons, it would be a bad thing.
They
How
declared.
do we know that they want nuclear weapons? What evidence can you
Because they
produce?
say so.
Oh, I don't know.
And
Maybe
because
they
they
don't.
have been
Hold on.
saying so, because they've been
Maybe.
threatening to wipe Israel off the map with them, and they've been threatening the United States with them, and they've been threatening the West with them, and that's on the one hand. And then on the other hand, oh no, we're just peaceful Iranians trying to have a peaceful civilian nuclear program.
Maybe it has something to do with those 3 centrifuges they built to make nuclear weapons with. You know, was it 3 centrifuges, Tom? Or,
Four.
four?
Or 19,000.
Or was it? Oh, that's right. It was 19,000.
19,000.
19,000 centrifuges to make nuclear material that goes boom.
Right.
And where does
Yeah.
it go boom over?
They
Tom?
just need to boil the water.
Let me, with 2
No,
points.
no, you don't. No, no, you don't need to have centrifuges like that to make nuclear power. The only reason you make centrifuges like that is to build what?
Bombs!
Yeah, the centrifuges
guys are
make the goo that blows up, blow upable. Make it simple.
Yeah.
For the folks here that aren't
It does. It spins it. Refines
nuclear
it.
experts like us. You're not nuclear experts like us.
Actually, I was a nuclear.
Yeah, this guy worked on a nuclear carrier. So.
Yeah, well, so did Jimmy
No, I didn't.
Carter.
Yeah.
But the couple of points that we want to make right now in terms of our analysis, and you can find all the data points of the deal anywhere. You can Google that.
Yeah,
We're
if
trying
you
to-
want news, you can get that anywhere. But
Yeah.
if you want it explained, you need to
Yeah.
watch
Right.
Tom Trento.
Number one,
Lovable.
President Obama can easily say, I love Jews, because he's talking about the New York liberal, progressive, leftist, usually non-religious Hollywood Jewish person who writes checks. He loves them. And he can, therefore, by application for people that aren't analytic, say, well, he loves Israel then. Where does that fall apart logically?
It's so many levels.
Do you want us to go through the fallacies and brainstorm?
So many levels is fine.
I don't know. There's like
Welcome to Aristotelian Logic
Our
101 on
analysis-
TrentoVision
Our
today.
analysis is that he has been trained all his life in an anti-Zionist, anti-Eretz Israel, the biblical lands of Israel as delineated in the Pentateuch, the 5 first books of the Bible, where the boundaries are even drawn. He's completely opposed to that. He is pro-Palestinian. If not, why don't you release the tape? Los Angeles
Rashid
Times.
Khalidi.
Rashid Khalidi.
2003 dinner praising Khalidi. Obama got up and spoke, and the LA Times won't release that tape because this guy will be thrown out of office for the things he says. It's that simple. So we know that the key to understanding this deal is the hatred for the concept of Zionism in the land of Israel. Number 2, we would not be in a deal. Iran would not be looking to get relief if it wasn't for the military pressure that Iranians believed Israel would unleash upon them if they continue building. That's the thing that got them to the bargaining table. The
Yeah,
fear
it
of being
wasn't
struck by
it wasn't
Israel.
the sanctions.
No, by
because
no
they're
means.
willing to let their people starve to death if they have to. If they have to kill 50 million Muslims to kill 6 million Jews, for them that's a
That's
bargain.
a bargain.
Did you
Okay?
guys notice?
They really don't care. They have no regard for their own lives that way. And these sanctions have been going on for more than 10 years.
Did you guys notice Netanyahu in the past 2 months, particularly during all this, was saying more and more and more on the record, they ain't getting a nuclear bomb. We will attack them if we have to.
Yes.
Now, remember Stuxnet's, that little bug that went in there?
Stuxnet?
Yeah. Remember about 15 different scientists that somehow
Magically were
They died.
centrifuged.
They died.
They were centrifuged.
they magically were on the wrong end, the business end of something exploding. Remember those guys? They just poof, disappeared all over the place. Israeli intelligence is so highly embedded into Iranian infrastructure that the Israelis know what the Iranians are doing before they even know it. So, and Netanyahu understands their vulnerabilities, and we don't even understand the sophisticated technology of some of the weaponry that Israel has right now. It is amazing. The Iranians knew that they can be their facilities can be devastated by the IDF, who's not going to screw around, and they heard Netanyahu ramping it up. They sat down and said, this guy's going to attack us.
Better get
Yes.
to the table and sign something.
Do something, man.
Do something, Obama.
And he got so screwed. All Jews around the world got screwed.
Yes.
Because they cut this deal, bought this time, got breathing room, got everything, and the little tiny country that could have helped save the world is now a pariah. What
Right.
happens if Netanyahu attacks during the 6 months?
Oh, we had a deal on place. We were working on the inside.
Rogue Nation.
We just had so many deals that you didn't know about. In fact, they were going to strip off all their clothes and hand us their nuclear weapons right tomorrow. That's what they're going to say.
Well, then we venture into the fantasy scenario of Samantha Power and Susan Rice, which is the United States gets to attack Israel.
Oh, this
That's not-
Takbir!
That's not bizarre thinking, because we had said
Right to protect.
we said on the record here many times it's a 30-day campaign at least.
Yep.
Because there's so many, I mean, the thousands of sorties and bombing. And before this, if Obama tried to stop Netanyahu, he would have said, sorry, we got to complete this.
Right.
Now, the whole world will turn against Israel on day 3, day 4, day 5.
The whole world would have done that anyway.
But they may intervene militarily in some way to
I
stop
could
Stop
see this
Israel.
administration doing that. Listen,
Yeah.
they did not let Israel fight a defensive war when they were getting bombarded by Hamas. They made them call that off. You think they're going to back a first strike?
All right, I'm going to close this segment reading from the Constitution of Iran. An ideological army. In the formulation and equipping of the country's defense forces, due attention must be paid to faith and ideology as a basic criteria. According to the Army of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, they're to be organized in conformity with this goal of advancing Islam. And they will be responsible not only for guarding and preserving the frontiers of the country, but for fulfilling the ideological mission of jihad in God's way. I'm reading from the Iranian Constitution. That is, extending the sovereignty of God's law throughout the world. This is in accordance with a Quranic verse. Prepare against them whatever force you are able to muster, and strings of horses striking fear into the enemy of God and your enemy and others beside them. Extending the sovereignty of Islam throughout the world.
Takbir!
How is Iran going
That's
to
so
conform to
peaceful.
any agreement? Right?
That's so
and
peaceful.
Netanyahu and Israel understands this, and Obama understands it too.
and
and
he's
is-
for it.
And he's for it, in fact. All right.
Are we coming
Tomorrow,
back tomorrow?
Hanukkah
Coming back
tomorrow.
Hanukkah. Happy
And maybe a
Hanukkah.
little bit of Iran too. We'll see what we do. All right.
Thank you.
We got to go. Goodbye.
Shalom!